how to say Happy New Year in Amharic. We try to write it phonetically, so it's Melkam Addis Amet. So Melkam Addis Amet literally means Happy New Year. So we're going to shout at the end of it, all of us are going to say Melkam Addis Amet. So let's see. So I just want to say thank you to the Ethiopian community for their leadership under the Leling, and also the board of directors who are here, and the many volunteers who prepared the food and the coffee. We're also grateful for the mayor and council for creating this opportunity to come together and celebrate our New Year. We're quite thrilled. The longest New West City resident Anna is here. Thank you, Sophie, and the city staff for helping us organize this. She's been, very active in responding to all my requests and email, and come to see this place, and a little organization. So just to give you a brief account of Ethiopians in BC, they start to come, like Patrick said it earlier, as students in the early 1940s, and then they went back and to their countries to serve as public servants and other professions. One notable person who made it all the way to become the governor of the Bank of Ethiopia was Dr. Tafara Degefe, who came here. We believe that he was the first Ethiopian to have attended the University of British Columbia here. There were several waves after that. During the different decades, immigrants came due to the political and economic situation. And the number at some point reached the critical mass, and they decided to form an association. And the Ethiopian Community Association was born in 1985. And then at that time, I think there may have been only fewer than 500 Ethiopians to form that association, including Eritreans, at that time Eritreans to be part of Ethiopia's province. Currently, we estimate that there are about 10,000 Ethiopians in BC. Most of them, they reside between Burnaby, New West, and Surrey. And so this is like kind of the center of the Ethiopian community. ECA has a big project that is currently undertaking to build a community center. We call it the Ethiopian House. Patrick has kindly arranged a meeting between me and another mayor to find out a land, possibly to acquire some land and see if we can build the community center there. That meeting takes place this Thursday. Thank you. And so, a little bit about Ethiopia. It has over 3,000 years of recorded history, with archaeological findings dating back to more than 3 million years. Despite the ongoing war and famine situation, it's the second largest population in Africa, next to Nigeria. It's also one of the oldest countries to convert into Christianity and also receive the religion of Islam. The priest here is holding one of the oldest Bibles written by hand. It's probably close to 1,000 years. So, and Ethiopia has a landmass twice the size of France, or just one and a half the size of BC, so it's quite big. Some fun facts. Ethiopia is dubbed the land of origins, the origin of humankind, so I guess we're all kind of related. So we came from Enqutatash. We call her Enqutatash, but she was called Lucy by the archaeologists who found her fossil. Little known fact is the archaeologists were listening to the Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with the Diamonds, and they named her Lucy. Unlike many other countries, Ethiopia has never been colonized. The biggest significance was the 1895 war, where we defeated the Italians, and it was a shock to Europe. Another fun fact is we have, there are over 300 alphabets in Ethiopian language, and before you reach kindergarten, you're expected to memorize them all. That was when I was growing up, so it may be different now. There are over 120 dialects, and there are several officially recognized languages, but Amharic is the working language. So the currency is called birr. Just to give you a perspective, 1 Canadian is equivalent to about 40 birr. So the price conversion is almost the same. For example, if you want to buy a cappuccino or a cafe latte, it will cost you 200 birr. So when you convert that, it's about $5, 5 Canadian. But the interesting is they don't earn that much money. The per capita GDP is around 1,000. The average salary is less than 100 US. So it's just the price, the cost is the same, but the earning is not there. And also because of its proximity to the equator, Ethiopia receives about 12 hours daily sunlight and equally divided. So we have a modified counting of the clock. So it's a bit confusing for people who go to Ethiopia. So the day begins in the morning. So we at 7 a.m. here, we call it 1. So it starts at 1 o'clock. So and then at the day ends at 12 o'clock. That's 6 p.m. So it's pretty. So if we're late sometimes, you understand why. Conversion issues. Yeah, the calendar. So the calendar, we have 13 months. So it's not because we have like a chosen people or given like another additional months. It's like we divide all the months into equal 30 days, and so the remaining 5 or 6 days we call it a month. So when they say a month has 4 weeks, in Ethiopian kids it may not be true. So it's only 5 days could be a month. And then, of course, because of our deep religious nature, we divide the 4 leap years into 4 cycles, named after the 4 Gospels. And this year, I think it's the year of John. Some people may correct me, but is it?
Yeah.
From Luke to John? Yeah. Okay. So September 11th is a special day. It's of course it's in addition to being the end of the rainy season. July and August is quite rainy, and it's our kind of summer. So, but I think it's also important because the Queen Sheba came back from Jerusalem after visiting King Solomon. And when she arrived, her subjects were so thrilled to see her, and they showered her with all kinds of gifts. And she dedicated that day as to be celebrated every year. And Enqutatash is named after her. The celebration of Ethiopian New Year takes different forms, and of course food plays a central part, but children clad in brand new clothes dance through the villages, singing and given bouquet of flower and painted pictures, and then they receive a gift of candy or coins or what have you. And at night there's also a bonfire, and people will dance around the bonfire and jump over the fire. And that's a symbol of leaving the old and starting new. The Abyssinian daisy flower, which we call Ade Adaba, is endemic to Ethiopia, and it just carpets the meadows and the fields during September, and that's the flower that we gather and make it into bouquet and give it to everyone. Sharing a meal is special. Everyone gathers around in circle. It's very common. We can't do it here, but we have one big circular table, and then everybody eats from the same plate or from the same tray. And of course, it wouldn't be complete without coffee. And coffee is central. As you know, coffee was originally discovered in Ethiopia. And Ethiopians brew coffee a very special way. They roast, they grind, and they make the coffee right in front of you. That's going to happen right now in a few minutes. And so notable individuals who have tasted the coffee have been impressed. And in the old days, the coffee ceremony served also as a social gathering, especially for elders in the neighborhood, to discuss some emerging issues or settle some conflicts between neighbors. So Faven is our coffee host today, so she's making a delicious coffee, and I invite you to take part. And you'll be in for a nice surprise, and especially because you have a busy day today, it would be very helpful to take a sip of Ethiopian coffee. So I don't know if you've seen the Simpsons had a really nice episode on Ethiopian food, and there's one element which we call is gursha. And so gursha is like means a mouthful and refers to kind of a morsel of food which one places carefully into another's mouth. Usually it's a sign of a gesture of affection and endearment and respect. So you might, some of the council members might receive some gursha today, so I encourage you to participate in the gursha. And so that is all I have for you, and this is to say thank you. So Amisak Rinaldo is the word. Thank you.
She's crazy. staff right here. These are the seats for the senior staff of the city. And these are where we make the decisions about what happens in the city. Important part is this desk up here. That's where people, they want to ask questions of council. That's where staff sit and give us reports. But on Monday nights when we do council in here, people in the community are able to come up here and talk to us. And I think it's an important part of how we do city business here in Westminster and most places in British Columbia is that council chambers belongs to the community as much as it belongs to us. And so you're able to come in, if you have a concern in the community, if you want to come in and just talk for 5 minutes, we don't judge. We just can't help working people as much. So, Vancouver too.
Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any questions? No.
Yes.
Does one have to make an appointment to come and join the council meeting?
Anybody can come and watch.
Just walk in?
Yeah, you can walk in and watch anytime. We also stream them on the internet. If you're on the internet, you can watch them there. But if you want to come up here and have 5 minutes to talk to council, then yeah, the week before, you just contact, if you go on the city's website, you'll see where City Hall.
Or you could just email one of us.
Or you can email one of us, and we'll give you the connection, and we'll show you how to sign up. You do have to sign up ahead of time. Just because we do only have 10 people.